Let's talk about it. All right, before we get started, everyone, if you haven't liked or subscribed the video, go ahead and do that. I greatly appreciate it. And I also want to get a shout out to a couple creators, Nico01, Ballheaded Senpai, Cazzy, and my 77th sub, EastCoastManga. Shout out, for real. I just want to say thank you all. These are other creators, same content as me, same likes as me as well. If you haven't checked these people out, or you're looking for someone else who does manga content, by all means go ahead and check those people out. I'll also have them in the description down below in the video. So yeah, let's talk about it. Today we are going to talk about volumes 1 and 2 of Ryuko. I like and I don't like this manga for a couple of reasons. It's only 2 volumes, so it's not like a super long read or anything like that. This story does have a conclusion. It kind of ends off happy as well, so it's not that like a downer or anything. Let's go with the likes. The art style in this manga, will probably be photos over here, are really, it's really different. It's very, very fluid. And at times it can take your eyes to get used to and adjusted to how the art is. A lot of time mangas have just panels and everything is separate. This, on the other hand, there may be an instance where, you know, something's going on in the story and there's a small little person in there from the panel above who's in the middle of all of this other, what seems to be jumbled mess, but it's not. So I like that. It's different. I've never read anything with that kind of art style before. So I was kind of taken away with that and like, oh wow, this is different. It's going to take me a minute to get used to it. However, I like it. The story, I really like the story. Anything that has to do with badass women fucking people up, I am here for it. And homegirl Ryuko, she a badass bitch and she was fucking people up, okay? It's really good. It's, if you like strong women, I for sure say go for it. It's one of my favorite things. But yeah, so the story is about Ryuko and pretty much kind of like a self journey-ish, but not truly. She regrets killing her father. She thought that her father was just a completely bad person, well, turned to be a completely bad person, and she ends up killing him. So before we even get into the story, let's get into the dislikes. I don't like how the story was told. It's only 2 volumes. I kind of feel like it should have been 3. There's a lot of backstory in the first volume. So you're understanding and you're getting where people came from, where people were, and it's not in the sense of, oh, this happened 5 years ago. It's like, no, this happened 28 years ago, then this happened 10 years after that, and then the present day. So it's kind of frustrating because it's not told in that order. It's told in 10 years ago, then 28 years ago, then present day. So it's like, okay, well, what's going on? Who's what? Like, why are these people like this? So that's the only gripe that I have with this story. It's just how the way that it was structured kind of was like, I got to go back and reread this to make sure that I got it and I comprehend. So the story takes place with Ryuko. She actually had 2 subordinates named Valor and Sasori. Again, two females who actually don't do shit, but they still badass women. So we here for it. But she has these 2 women and she took them in. One was like a hooker, a prostitute that Ryuko ended up taking in. And then there's another who fell victim to, we'll say, a war, and her father asked Ryuko to take her in. Ryuko is part of the Yakuza. I can't get enough of saying that. Yakuza, the Yakuza, okay? When you say it once, you gotta say it a bunch of times, like Yakuza. If you don't know what the Yakuza is, it is pretty much the Japanese mafia, which to me is like way more like I'ma fuck you up than it is with like the American mafia that you think of, like you think of Scarface or anything like that. You think of that mafia and you're like, oh, like, okay. No, Japanese mafia, totally different breed. And these people, totally different breed. So you have this story of Ryuko, and she ends up with this baby that, like I said before, the king had asked her to take care of. She takes care of this baby, she raises the baby. The father, Ryuko's father, doesn't approve of it. And she ends up killing her father because she's like, I'm going to do this. This is what's right. And Ryuko has a very, very strong sense of what is right and what is wrong and how things should be done. And I like that about her. She can mess someone up, but she knows when to stop. So we'll get into that later. So Ryuko's mother is missing, who Ryuko presumes is dead. They end up into this war with this guy named Rashad, and he gives her this little box, and it's called the Gold Seal. And he lets her know that, no, your mom is still alive. Ryuko goes on this journey to go find her mother. She then leaves, I believe she's in Afghanistan. She leaves Afghanistan and decides to go to Japan because that's where she believes her mother is, and that's where she was told her mother is. She goes there. She doesn't find her mother, and she found a man who ended up betraying her father and actually kidnapping her mother. But then her mother was sent off. So you're like, okay, like, is her mom alive? Is she not alive? Like, what's going on? So comes to find out, there's another group that is in China who ends up having Ryuko's mother, and Ryuko goes after her. I'm going to skip over a lot just because it is, like I said, it's a lot of backstory. But Ryuko has Sasori, Valor, and Nikolai, who worked with her father back in Afghanistan. And there's another guy whose name starts with a K, who I can never say. So in my head I say it one way, but saying it out loud is negative, so I won't even try to butcher it. But there's one other person that's basically her crew. So they're all with her to go find her mother, and Riku finally does find her mom. And what ends up happening is her mother tells her, you know, we are part of this clan, which is called the Black Glory, and this clan has people all over the world. But the only people who have complete dominance and can tell these people to do whatever, anytime, are women who kill their father and has the gold seal. Ryuko's mother was actually the head of the clan, but she never used them for anything. It is really touching when Ryuko finally meets her mom. She's like, I've been searching for you. I've longed for you for so long, and now you're here, but now you're telling me this. Did you kill your father? And she says yes, but it was a part of an accident. It seemed like it was planned. So it's like, oh dang, like this sucks. Like it really makes you feel like, okay, well, guys just suck. Which they do, so I'm not doubting that at all. We do suck at times. And Ryuko wants to destroy the Ghost Seal. She does not want to be in head of this clan. She doesn't want any parts to do with it. She wants to have her people and herself be free. And that's the bottom line. She doesn't want the Yakuza. She doesn't want to be the head of the Yakuza anymore. She doesn't want to be the head of this clan. She just wants to just let it all go and live her life and be happy. Now, there's another clan, like I mentioned before, who ends up wanting the gold seal, and it is messed up. Okay, it is messed up. The clan member of the other clan is the Chinese clan. I can't say the name, so again, I'm not even going to butcher it. But the grandfather is the head of the clan, and there's his granddaughter and his son-in-law. And obviously, you have to kill your father in order to be the head of the clan and have the gold seal. They end up getting the gold seal, well, stealing it from Ryuko. And the grandfather puts homegirl, his granddaughter, through hell, okay? The father is never into anything. He's not a part of any drug business or anything like that. He is literally just a guy doing sales. Like, he doesn't want to, it ain't him. He like, no. Killing people, dealing with blood? No. He's not with it, so he doesn't have any hand or anything in that. So the grandfather kind of forces his granddaughter's hand into trying to kill him. He first sends his subordinates off to go kill his granddaughter's subordinates, and they end up killing one, and the granddaughter ends up fighting, and she gets away, and they say, oh, well, your father planned the hit. And she's kind of distraught by it. She's like, I don't understand. Like, why would my father do this? And she was teetering for so long. She was like, I just don't believe that it's true. And then the grandfather fakes his kidnap, blames it on the dad. And then the granddaughter comes in. She's like, well, now I have to kill you because you're a traitor. We can't believe you. And that is when it pops off. Okay, Ryuko comes in on a motorcycle, whoosh, bow, okay, fucks everybody up, and it is crazy, to see this one woman, and they even say it in the thing, it's just one chick, she only got 2 pistols. It ain't mad at her, and she'll do it again.
Yes, I did that, and you would do it too for a check.
Okay, she was an employee of the Yakuza. Okay, she was out here. And she ends up killing them, the guards and everything around. And then she goes to the grandfather. She takes her motorcycle, drives it off the cliff, because the grandfather's in the helicopter, the edge of the building, I should say. Takes the motorcycle and rams it into the grandfather and kills him. So Ryuko's not here for it. She said, we're ending this. I don't want to do it anymore. You're not going to do it. No one's going to be a father killer like she was. And she regrets doing that. And another reason why she regrets it is because her father, who she thought was no longer a decent person, even though he was part of the Yakuza, he actually was still a good person. He looked out for her. He looked out for others. He was still trying to do his best by her, and she jumped the gun and made a decision that she can't take back, and she knows that. She ends up getting rescued by a guy named Harem, who was again just a child when Ryuko was a child. That was the 28 years ago thing, flashback I should say. And she ends up getting rescued by him. He works for the US, and he saves her, and he doesn't want her to die, and he knows that the US will come after him to the ends of the earth, and he still made the choice to save her because she did that, and he knows again that this is right. And Ryuko knows that she needs to do what's right, so they end up destroying the gold seal. Anyone who had the opportunity to become the next person in charge of the Black Glory would no longer be able to do that, because you have to follow these certain steps. I don't want to give away too much just in case you do decide to read it, but yeah, it's a really good story. Again, like I said, I don't like how it was told, the structure of it I should say, but it still didn't take away from my pleasure and everything. by all means, I would say if you really, really, really want something that has to do with powerful women and drugs and war and the mafia, by all means, I say pick this up. It's a great read. And if you're looking for a different type of art style that's just completely fluid, again, check this out. It is completely different, blew me away with the art. I'm really, really, really into art styles. So this was something that was really up there for me and made me appreciate how mangaka, I believe I'm saying it right.
You're doing great.
How the artists of manga do their art and everything. Like you see Yuji Ito's work and you're blown away, but this was on a different level. It wasn't a horror thing. It wasn't make you to be scared. It was to show you how chaotic things can be. So yeah, by all means, check this out. Again, leave a like, sub, comment. I greatly appreciate it. Let me know if you have read this, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.